So today we're going to talk about Dr. Cheyenne Bryant. Usually I don't talk about, a lot of black women on this channel. I talk about them sometimes, they're doing like all kind of dumb, foolish stuff. I usually don't go into that because I'm usually more on the men because I'm a man, black man myself. So it's easy for me to relate to that. But Dr. Cheyenne Bryant said something and did something which I really don't like. And that's the reason why I'm going to make this video about her, just as a teaching moment here. Okay. This is them talking about her 9 months ago on a Joe Budden Network, I guess, podcast. Okay, I'm gonna go into this comment. That's why I'm on this video to show you this comment. It's a really important comment. Check this out. As you can see, it says 9 months ago, and the person says, "This is Ebony 0420," and they say, "I always knew there was something off about Dr. Bryant." In quotes, you could tell she's very much in her ego to get on a podcast and say he wants a relationship, but I don't, about a guy you quote unquote care about, as if you don't want him, he wants you. But you've been sleeping with him for 5 years. Now it's important because she's supposed to be like a life coach and all that kind of stuff. Okay, so she's supposed to have her personal life together. All right, that's why she can tell you about what you should be doing because she has her personal life together. All right, I'm just saying that's how you kind of have to look at this. All right, I'm not trying to beat up her, but I'm saying it really is that simple. Okay, about a guy you quote unquote care about, as if you don't want him, he wants you, but you've been sleeping with him for 5 years. There is something very off-putting about her. I promise you, there are going to be more revealing things about her coming out. This is 9 months ago. You can tell she hides a lot in order to appear perfect. I don't trust her. Now, this is a year ago, okay? So this is a while ago when Corey Holcomb, all right, had some comments about Dr. Cheyenne, all right? And I guess they were going back and forth. I heard about this stuff and saw it briefly, but I wasn't really looking into this stuff because I'm the kind of person, if it's not something I'm really going to look into, I would just not even pay that much attention. I mean, look at it here and there to see what's going on, if it's important or something I need to be paying attention to if I want to report on it. But I saw what she was doing. I was just like, ah. Now, what she did, before I play this is very important. I play this clip here. What she said that maybe made this video essentially was that she came on, I believe it was the Breakfast Club, and she basically said, and I may play that clip. She said, "Look, I don't have to prove to anybody anything. All right, God got me and all this kind of stuff, and I can't stand when people try to bring God into a situation where they know they're lying. All right, because what they're saying is, you know what? Let's use God as a way to get me out of this lie. Let me use God as a stepping stool, okay? Just to step on top of God's name so that if you try to do anything, understand you're coming against God. It's the same thing a lot of these fake pastors do, okay? And I'm a Christian myself, but I can't stand I can't stand when I see fake Christians, okay? Someone was making a comment there, and it was really true when they said that she'll go on a Christian shows or go on shows with pastors, so on and so forth, but then she'll go on another show and be cussing all crazy and acting like she don't care about God. But check this out, okay?
And that is not with that person has created a broken home. So I'm like, yo, a person who I admire, I'm like, yo,
Curtis, she ain't got no kid.
But
Let me tell you why you ain't got no kid. Because you can't make a kid with the person you with, can you? Don't get mad at me if I'm telling the truth now. I ain't saying this is a fact, but I'm saying.
But you can't say that, though.
People who know you put your business out there, ma'am. So most people don't know. The average civilian don't know. But people who know you know who that girl is who you call your security.
So about a year ago, Corey Holcomb, not only was he saying that she's not a doctor, which I'm gonna pull it up too earlier in this video. Not only was he saying that, because of course the accusation against her is that she's not really a doctor, that she says she has all these degrees, but she says that she went to a college, okay? This actually is similar to Dr. Umar, okay? Now I think about it, I've admit, you see my channel, I make a lot of videos about Dr. Umar Johnson, okay? Who's a big time scammer, though a lot of people like him, and he has over 1 million followers on Instagram, but he's nothing but a huge scammer, okay? And I'm from Philly, he's from Philly, we in Philly know that he's a scammer, okay? But he goes around the world, other places people don't know he's a scammer. Or gets away with this stuff, and hopefully he'll get caught and arrested one day, okay, for all the mess he's been doing. But anyway, looking at her is very similar in the sense that she kind of just says, "Look, just listen to what I'm saying. Don't look at what I say. Don't look at what I do." All right. And like I said, I kind of I peeped what she was doing for some time, but it wasn't until she started throwing God under a bus that's what kind of irritated me, made me want to make this video, okay? And he said, but anyway, Corey Holcomb, he's making this accusation saying here, look, at the end of the day, You don't even go with a man. You're with a woman. You're a lesbian. That's what he's basically saying. That's the accusation that he's saying. And it's crazy because sometime after this, okay, there were accusations of people saying that she was actually a lesbian, okay? As you can see here, 6 months ago, okay, and if you're looking at this on your phone, you may need to zoom in, okay, if this looks small to you. I'm changing the orientation of the video here, back and forth. You can see here, it says Dr. Cheyenne Bryant's girlfriend shouldn't have posted this, okay? And that's from O'Shea Duke Jackson. This is a guy who has a lot of videos that has 200,000 views. That's 6 months ago. Then we have here Tasha K, another very, very big YouTuber, okay? It says Dr. Bryant is gay. That's 10 months ago. Then you have another video she has. Dr. Cheyenne Bryant pops out with her stud, okay? And then there's another one, too. Okay, that's 2 weeks ago. All right. I'm trying to see if there's any other ones. Okay, the rest of these are recent. But there's a lot more you can find of people saying, look, she actually was with a woman. Now, I'm not trying to hate on anyone that's a lesbian. What I'm saying is that she kind of got on by coming at, if I'm not mistaken, she was coming at Cam Newton, okay, in the very beginning. And his show helped her kind of get a lot of fame. All right. And that's how she got more. And I'm not attacking her by saying, okay, she went on Cam Newton, became famous with XYZ. All right. You know, she was invited on that show, or however she got on that show, she's on that show. And she did what she, I guess, is accustomed to doing. All right. But at the end of the day, I do remember from seeing the clip where she was on his show and she was kind of like, yo, you know what I mean? You need to get your life together, XYZ, blah, blah, blah. And then she just saying stuff about black men. Only, as you just saw, okay, how even that comment they were explaining how she basically was saying, look, I've been in a 5-year relationship. I didn't want to play too much on that podcast, on the Joe Budden podcast. A lot of these people, they could try to claim me videos and stuff, or get my videos taken down, or I'm rightfully using these videos for fair use, but it's happened before, so I'm saying it. But I watched that video, and I watched a lot of the video, I should say, and then she's saying, look, I was with this guy, and then she said something like, I have multiple partners. She didn't say those exact terms, those exact words, but she said something basically saying that. And she said, I'm not with anybody serious right now, but I'm with this guy for 5 years. It's like very contradictory with what she's saying. She's contradicting herself a lot in what she was saying regarding her own relationship, okay? Also, I'll say is that Corey Holcomb, I'm not a Corey Holcomb fan, and I watch him all the time. I've seen him before, but I have seen more than one time where Corey Holcomb has brought up accusations against somebody, and he was 100% right. Like 100% right. When he said, usually when Corey Holcomb, whether you like him or not, usually when he says, this is really true about somebody, when he says that, usually he has a bunch of research that has been done. And he's not opening up his mouth, just opening his mouth for nothing, okay? Remember, this was a year ago, okay? And at this time, a lot of people in these comments were hating on Corey Holcomb, okay? When he was saying this, a lot of women were hating on Corey Holcomb, and men were hating on him, all right, for saying this stuff. But what he was saying was correct. Check this out.
Fake. That shit.
Why would you call her a doctor, brother? I'm not saying your platform is fake at all. I'm just saying, when somebody say Dr. Bryant, it irks me. Where's her colleagues? Where's she a doctor at? Because I've done the research.
And it was what?
I don't see doctor nowhere.
So you're saying funny, but at the end of the day, he's not lying. Okay? Because the thing is, number one, let's just lay it out there, okay? I'm going to just lay it out there. It shouldn't be the best kept secret for you to find out if someone's a doctor or not, okay? That should not, just like with Dr. Umar Johnson, it's the exact same thing. All these accreditations that he says he has. But this stuff is hard to find. He says, I'm a relative of Frederick Douglass. Stuff is hard to detect, to find, okay? But he says all this kind of stuff. It's the exact same thing, exact same type of grifting, okay? Now, of her, it's more so to black females, okay? And I'm going to tell you something some of you guys may not like when I say this, but it's the truth. Black females are some of the most lucrative, they're probably the most lucrative group on earth to scam. Black females, not black men. Even think about it, even Dr. Umar Johnson scams black females. He doesn't scam black men more because he scams black females, okay? Because they are the most upward rising, upward mobile, all right, in societies, and they make some money, and they put a lot of money into wherever they are, okay? They buy. I mean, I was just out before I made this video, all right? I was downtown Philadelphia. I was going to an event, and I had to go through China. Actually, I went to Chinatown because I was trying to get this boba tea. All right, and as I'm there, I'm seeing all these black women pour money into Chinatown. And I actually thought to myself, like, why all y'all in Chinatown so much? And I was like, we know what? Sometimes the buffets are good. Usually I don't eat Chinese food at all. I'm just be honest with you, okay? I'm not giving them all my money, but I'm saying this is not a slap against black women. I'm just saying that I'm telling you, a lot of them, not all of them, a lot of them, they pour money into different type of communities, and they have money. When they say, I want to go to this Chinese restaurant, they will go there. When they want to go to the Mexican restaurant, they'll go there, and they bring their money with them. Okay, if you were to remove black women from America, I guarantee you there will be a lot of products, and not just talking about hair products. And you'll say, "Oh, it's about weave." No, I'm not weave. There'll be a lot of products I'm trying to tell you that would not be bought if you were to take out just black women from the USA. Okay, it will hurt the economy in a major way. And I'm not saying it's what's going to smack black women. I'm just saying to say that they have money that statistically the USA never talks about in a major way. They always try to put it down, but they really do a lot with their money. All right, and that's why people and sometimes I'll say this is not just with black women, it's with women in general. Many times, not all women, but many times women are not wise when it comes to making decisions. All right, whether it's financial decisions, and many times when it comes to picking a mate. Okay. They'll put down a good guy and then go for a dumb guy, and a lot of times us men will look at them and say, this guy is thousands times worse. Why would you go with that guy? Okay, and then as time goes by, if they get divorced, you're like, I could have seen that happen, seen that coming thousands of miles away. Okay, a lot of times they're not they may know how to get money, but they're not good decision makers. Okay, and that's just the way a lot of times God actually made many women. Okay, that's how women are not all women, but many women are made that way, and that's why you need a man and a woman together. Okay. A woman can't do everything a man can do, and a man can't do everything a woman can do. It's just simple as that. All right. But getting back to this, you see Corey Hogan from the very beginning. It's like, look, this woman, why do you keep calling her a doctor? I've done research. This woman is not a doctor. It should not be the best kept secret that she is a doctor. Okay.
If somebody is a doctor, they will be proud to show you, I'm a doctor. She can't do it. She just says it. This is a fantasy that woman is living. I mean, like, you don't see everybody to see you, Sister Bryant. We know it's a girl you call your bodyguard, but we know it's more to it than that. You know what I'm saying? I'm out here in the streets. So I can't say what this girl is that you call in your little security sometimes, but you know what I'm saying? There's people who know y'all and they talk. So, and all this doctor stuff, I mean, come on. Where is the proof that you're a doctor? Can you just do that online instead of all of the glamour videos with all the makeup on and everything? Show us you're a doctor and how you became a doctor.
Okay, now people, like I said, people looked at Corey Holcomb when he made this video and they were like, okay, well, you just hating. You just an angry black man hating, okay? XYZ, but he was actually telling the truth. This man was actually, and I'm gonna say this. I'm not trying to hate Corey Holcomb, but I've seen Corey Holcomb say things that I thought he shouldn't have said. All right, I've seen him on a video. I'm not going to refer to the actual video, but I heard him on video one time mention basically beating up a woman. I'll just say that, beating up a woman. All right, not recently, but like something like in his olden days. Okay, when he was I guess younger. Okay, he mentioned basically fighting a woman in the way that he described it. I thought was like. It was not like he was pushing it down. I just said the way he was describing. I really didn't like that. The way he was describing, I thought like that's not really how you should say that. Okay, but maybe he was mad at the time. I don't know. But the way he was describing it, I've seen him more than once kind of come off like that. But so I'm just saying to say that you may say, oh, you're a Corey Holcomb fan. No, I'm not. I don't watch his show like that. Okay, nothing against him. I'm just saying I don't watch his show like that. But I can tell you right now, the dude wasn't lying. All right, was not lying. Like I said, she goes on Christian platforms. This is something I originally didn't know about her like that. Okay, this is important because if the accusations against her are correct, then this is part of the grift. Let's go to now. Who in the black church? Who makes up most of the black church in the USA? Black women. Okay, again, go to the black women because they got the ching ching. You see what I'm saying? They will spend. All right, they will spend. Let's hit play here. What she has to say here.
It's an oral act. Penetrate. Sex is an act. It's an oral act, a penetration act, it's a fondling act, and it brings your body to an orgasmic, you know, finishing or completion. Intimacy has nothing to do with the orgasm. Will orgasm come emotionally, mentally?
That's something that most people would not say. That has nothing to do with that. But let's hit play here where she's coming from. Okay, just listen to this.
Body to an orgasmic, you know, finishing or completion. Intimacy has nothing to do with the orgasm. Will orgasm come emotionally, mentally, spiritually, and physically through intense intimacy? Absolutely. But intimacy looks like a 4-hour conversation about knowledge of each other. Intimacy looks like
How? That's even less because y'all can have a 4 hour conversation and the guy could be thinking about a football game at the same time he's talking to you. How is y'all just sitting back? How is that matching having sex? See what I'm saying? What is she talking about? Let's hit play.
a disagreement of two people submitting. So it never turned into discord. Intimacy looks like
And I'm gonna go back to what she just said, but think about that, okay? Guys think about football as he's nodding his head, listening to a woman for 4 hours because he's trying to get in bed with her. Okay, men will do this. Some men will do that. Okay, like some women may do the same because whatever case be, maybe they're trying to get the guy's money, whatever. Maybe they trying to sleep with the guy. I don't know. Well, the point I'm trying to make is that a person can easily hide stuff through a conversation, what's more? How can I say this? What is it easier? How is it easier to hide? Is it easier to hide sitting in a chair across from somebody, many feet from somebody, nodding your head, or you being in bed with the person, sleeping with the person, okay, having relations, all right. That would be, of course, a more intimate way of being with someone than to just be sitting in a chair. But she's saying no, it's the exact same thing. I don't understand. Well, the reason why I'm saying this and stopping on this is because it makes me feel like, and I've since this with her, my opinion from the beginning, I could be wrong, but I doubt it. And that's that I felt like, how can I say this? I'm trying to say this in a respectful way. I felt almost from the beginning when I saw her that she kind of has a thing where she doesn't really want to. She doesn't. In my opinion, I don't think she really wants to be with black men like that. I'll just say that, okay? I'm not trying to say because of a lesbian thing, but I'm just saying I feel like there's some black women that they're in a time where basically where they really don't want a black man. I've met women like that before, where they'll dress up as if they and they'll dress up of all kind of crazy stuff to make you think they want a man, all this kind of stuff. But at the end of the day, they don't want a man at all. They want to be a man. They want to, but they're not a. They won't say I'm a lesbian, but they want to be a man. Essentially, they want to do everything the man does. All right. If they get in a relationship with a man, all right, because they may still want to sleep with a guy, they'll get in a relationship with a man, but then they'll want a man. I'm gonna be factual. I'm not. Y'all may not agree with me. What I'm saying is 100% true. When they get in a relationship with a man, they want to tell the man what to do. I've dated women like that before, where they think they can tell me what to do. And a lot of times they don't come off like that in the very beginning. But then as you go with them, if you spend more time with them, you realize the woman is trying to make you make decisions. She's trying to manipulate you, okay? And there's a lot of women like that you have to be careful. That brothers, we got to be careful of, where these certain women, they know, okay, that men don't like that. And they can sense that. But like a snake, they find ways to get around you, okay? Especially if something bad happens to you, or there's a loss of money or something, you will find them just trying to take over almost, okay? And be like, look, I wear the pants right now. You understand what I'm saying? I remember one time I dated this woman, all right, and it seemed like everything was fine. All right, she was always smiling when she saw me. But I'm gonna tell you right now, when I started having a financial issue in my life because of a business that I had to close, she changed so quick you would not believe. It was like she didn't want to be seen with me anywhere, okay? And I sensed that immediately. I said, wow, so really you weren't really loving me like I thought you were, okay? And she had a compelling backstory and all kinds of stuff, but none of that stuff mattered when my money started getting funny. She didn't care about none of that. Now, are all black women like that? No. But what I'm saying is that there are women like that. And there are women that they don't need to be with a man. They don't need to be with anybody, okay? But they're going after men, okay? But they have different guys, okay, in rotation. But they don't need to be with any guy, all right? And they're not fit to be married or to be with anybody, period, okay?
about the knowledge of each other. Intimacy looks like a disagreement of two people submitting. So it never turned into discord. Intimacy looks like, I talked about the gentleman that I'm talking to. praying over me when he's at an event with a group of people he could just stay, entertained with. Intimacy looks like, baby, did you make it home? Did you eat? Are you okay? Do you need anything? Intimacy looks like, I'm going to put my needs aside because I see you're in a space where you need all of me. And so
This may seem like I'm being extra critical, but that's really dangerous what she's saying. She said intimacy is like saying, hey, baby, did you make it home? That's not intimacy at all. And how can I say that? Because a man can be cheating on his wife with 3 other women and say that type of stuff. Baby, how you doing? Okay. You know what? If y'all have never seen it, y'all should watch this documentary. Or it is not. It's a documentary, I guess you could say, but it's a reenactment basically of this. It's a it used to be a book, I think, audio book, and they turn it into a like a mini series. It's called Dirty John. Have you ever seen Dirty John before? If you all seen Dirty John, let me know in the comments, number one. All right, Dirty John is crazy. That's not something I would ever watch, but I think my mom and my sister told me to watch it years ago, and that thing was fire. Okay, and it really, it really was. It really shows how this guy was just wooing this woman. He took advantage of his woman to such a degree, y'all would not believe. You gotta check Dirty John out if you've never seen it before, all right? It's definitely a teaching moment, all right? But this guy, I mean, he was, hey, baby, how you doing? The very thing that she said, that's why I'm saying what she's saying is very dangerous here, okay? You know, if they do this is intimacy. That is not intimacy. Because the guy could be cheating on you with 3 or 4 other women and do all that stuff. And oh, yes, it's important that I say this because people look at her, all right, as if she has great knowledge. It's the same thing I talk about with Dr. Umar. All right. When a person is coming out with lies, coming out with foolishness, and they have a great following, it's the responsibility, and this is happening, for example, in the black community. When this happens in the black community, it's the responsibility of people in the black community to stand up and say, hold up, wait a minute. Okay. It's like one guy online says, something ain't right. All right. Something ain't right about what this person is doing, or what this person is saying. All right. We need to take 1,000 steps back, spin around, all right, and start to think. I was listening more to what she's saying because this is her rationale. This is the advice that people are paying her, I'm sure, to get. All right.
I'll choose to discuss this issue I may have with you another time. I check in. Intimacy also looks like when I'm not with you because I am truly faithful, truly focused, and truly aligned with you, that you have a calmness and a peace. And intimacy looks like what I just talked about, the epitome of transparency. For me, transparency is intimacy because you're giving me a piece of you that I don't have to try to.
I feel like she doesn't even know what intimacy is. All right. What she's describing is not intimacy because intimacy is the closest level of love, baby. All right. Those things are not the closest level of love. All right. True intimacy cannot be faked. You understand what I'm saying? It's a fact. True intimacy cannot be faked. Just like, I'm just going to be honest with you. It may sound nasty, but I'm just going to be honest with you. Just like, for example, a woman can fake an orgasm, but a man cannot. Okay. But a woman can do that easily. All right. And I think it's because of that. Sometimes I think certain women, not all, but certain women, they see the world from an incorrect point of view. All right. Because of things like that, they think, oh, well, everything can just be fake. No, there's real. There's real. And though people think of sex as just a carnal thing, it really is not. It's something that God created. And it actually, when you look at how a man and woman come together to be intimate, it actually is a mirror of God and mankind. You understand what I'm saying? And how we're supposed to operate. All right. In a variety of levels. All right. Not just with God, but with each other. All right. So for her to come with this ideology that, well, intimacy is anything and everything, that's completely untrue. And only a person, in my opinion, never actually experienced true intimacy would say something like that.
Navigate. You're allowing me to see it. And this is one that a lot of people are very confused on. True intimacy is, no, I'm not responsible for carrying your hardships, your traumas, your deficits. But if I chose you, damn it, I'm responsible for facilitating you through it. And there's too many people that are saying heal and get over it and then come talk to me. Well, how about I don't want to talk to you at all? Because if you can't at least facilitate doesn't look like you got your toolbox out and you're trying to fix, because like Jesus and the disciples, we all got to carry our own cross. And even when Jesus went to the cross and got crucified, there was a whole audience, but they nailed him by himself. Okay? And he also was resurrected by himself,
Yes.
by God. Nobody was there to carry, resurrect, or do any of those savior things. However, facilitation, support is something that is very intimate. Intimacy, the what do you need? And then showing up in that. I want to go further because people are going to be like, okay, doc, that's cool. That's all the surface stuff. Taking a bath together. No sex. Because you both have what the Bible says marriage requires. Discipline. To take a bath together.
I'll even stop right here. Notice how she made that verbal mistake? That's something that a lot of people, I'm not going to say a lot of people, but some people would make. But that's a verbal mistake that a person supposed to be a doctor should never make. She was trying to say the word intimate. That's what I'm not going to say she was trying to say the word. I'll say is that's the word that she should have chosen, intimate. And that should have come to her mind immediately. Let's go back and see what I'm talking about. She should immediately say intimate, but instead she said, it was like she was trying to say intimacy. No, it's intimate. Now you may say you nitpicking. No, I'm not nitpicking. I'm bringing this up to show you if a person who's supposed to be a doctor of the highest levels of PhDs makes a verbal error like that, you should look at them and say, should I be giving them my money? Seriously. Seriously. I don't care what anybody tells you. All right. It's not like it's just your buddy. This is a person supposed to be on a higher IQ. All right. Seriously. To make a verbal error like that to me will be a huge red flag.
Or doing those savior things. However, facilitation, support is something that is very intimate. Intimacy, the what do you need? And then show.
See, she didn't even correct it and say intimate. It was like her mind didn't even jump to that. All right. Once again, a person of the highest level of PhD, they would immediately. I don't have any PhDs, okay, but I would not make a mistake like that. All right. And I didn't even finish college. I literally could not afford to finish college. They pulled me out of class because I couldn't afford to finish college. But she had all these degrees and didn't know that. Come on now.
Up in that. I want to go further because people are going to be like, okay, doc, that's cool. That's all the surface stuff. Taking a bath together. No sex. Because you both have what the Bible says marriage requires. Discipline. To take a bath together.
Hey.
And have a conversation. A little triggered over there? A little triggered?
No. I just got to couch this. I got to couch this. Don't take that bath until y'all get that ring on there.
Until you get that discipline, too.
Yeah, dude. Yeah.
Discipline.
Yeah. Don't do it.
Discipline.
You're going to make me lose my license. Listen, she's talking to married people. It's different, a heightened level. Thank you.
And let me say this.
Yes.
I'm also talking to unmarried people. Because
don't get in that bathtub.
If you
don't
have...
y'all get in that bathtub.
He got to correct her. Like, look, don't do this. All right. That's ridiculous.
Listen, if you have the true essence of discipline.
Yeah, no. They ain't got it.
But there are some men that do.
Yeah.
And let me go further. Because
they must teach Tai Chi.
Because you're supposed to save your chai tea.
Yes.
Which is really your sperm.
Yes.
Until you're doing something that's productive, fruitful, and will multiply.
Get in the tub with a bathing suit on. Don't just get in there.
Let me say this, ladies and fellas. Let me say these, ladies and fellas. A man who could bathe with you and be disciplined enough to not touch you is a reassurance for you. I did that.
Let's stop this. No, let's hear what she says. I'm going to stop this, okay?
With the man. I did that with a man. Listen, I don't listen to Pastor Bryant. Okay?
Gentlemen, don't play with it.
Pastor Bryant is
You're going to mess up.
Listen, he's talking to the low functioning men.
Hey, listen.
But the high functioning men who want something bigger than the flesh, because you know that the flesh... He's talking into...
Y'all may have thought that the video malfunctioned there. I want you to know it didn't malfunction. She literally, again, had some type of thing going on with a super PhD mind. I doubt that. I don't believe that. But let's keep on going, okay?
Hey, listen.
But the high functioning men who want something bigger than the flesh, because you know that the flesh... He's talking into the low functioning men, but the high functioning men who want something more than just...
I think she stopped like that because what she was saying was so nonsensical and so ridiculous. Even her own mind couldn't put the pieces together. Her own mind was like, look, we can't. What do you expect us to do? I mean, you know this is not right. Why are you even saying this? You're telling people who are not married to test themselves, based on what she's saying here, to test themselves in the loyalty of a man by getting in a bath with a man. If you are a woman, and I want you to understand is if you're a woman, and most of y'all probably already know this, but if you're a woman, Number one, you should not, and you're not married, you should not be getting in the bath with a guy like that, period. Okay, so y'all married. Number two, if you want to test a man, getting naked with him in a bathtub is not the best place. This is my opinion. It's not the best place to test a guy. I'm just trying to let you know that, okay? Not the best place to test. Say I want to test a guy to see if he wants to sleep with me immediately, and then you coming out to get butt naked. That's not going to be the best way to test a guy. What that will do, what that will do is arouse the guy, okay? I'm just being honest with you. This comes from a Christian man. I'm just being honest with you. That's not a good idea, okay? It's not a good idea at all. It's actually the advice she just gave is so bad. It's almost as if she's purposely or intentionally trying to bring people down. Maybe that's the case. I don't know. I don't put stuff past people anymore. Okay, in 2026. All right, I really don't. All right, let's hit play now.
The flesh, because they know that's the cheapest part of a woman, but it'll cause you to pay the biggest price when it goes wrong.
Yeah, but don't go in there cold turkey.
Hold on.
Start meditation first.
Prayer,
yeah,
meditation,
prayer,
and
focus.
yes, and then definitely get your discipline muscle up. But I did that for 1 year because I was celibate for 2 years. I was dating a guy, and almost for about a whole year, we were bathing together, doing all the intimate stuff, nude together, sleeping together with no sex, no touching, none of that. When I say no foreplay of anything, and our intimacy was crazy. We never got to the place of intercourse, of sex, but it heightened our relationship to where sex became so overrated and so secondary for both of us that when we left our dating relationship, it actually enhanced and elevated both of us to a different place.
Now you have to I'm gonna move on to the next video. You have to understand, and some of y'all, I'm not gonna go too deep into this, okay? But some of y'all men, y'all know what I'm talking about. There are women out there. And I don't want this to be a Let's Bash Women video, but I have to say this, okay? I'm not trying to bash you. I'm trying to explain this, okay? This is truth. There are women out there that are fine just laying in the bed with a guy, having a guy hug her, cuddle, but they don't want to sleep with you. But they sure enough want you to hold them, like what she was doing with this guy. She was playing this guy more than a fiddle. I have to say that. What she was doing to that man was wrong, okay? That's what I'm saying here on the Brother Winston channel, all right? She had this guy naked, all right, for 2 years or whatever she said, or over and over again, and they're not doing anything. You may say, well, I thought you was believing no sex for marriage. Yeah, I do agree. I do believe that. Number one, she shouldn't have been naked with the guy. All she was doing was putting the guy in a position where he's aroused. All right. She on her side, she could have, she could have, how can I say, she could have climaxed. I gotta say it. She could have climaxed. All right. And, the guy is just sitting there. He can't do that, okay? Because she don't want him to do that. You understand what I'm saying? Because women can hide stuff. All right, just like they can fake it, they can hide it. All right, but the guy, so she's totally. What I'm saying is that she's chilling. She's fine. And in her part, yeah, there's no intercourse, right? Because he don't have to enter you, but at the same time, it don't work the same for him. I'm not saying a woman can't arouse a man and make the guy, XYZ. You understand what I'm saying? But I'm saying is that at the end of the day, she just told you that didn't happen with him. You understand what I'm saying? So she's putting him through all that kind of stuff, but she's getting everything that she needs. And that tells you the mindset of this woman right then and there. And right at that point, people should have been like, oh, what, you know what? I'm turning the cheek. I'm not going back to that. Because a woman that would do that is something in them that's extremely selfish. Like the person said in the comment earlier about her ego, it's something in them that's almost demonically selfish. It's a level of selfishness that these that some of the worst ratchet women that you find on the streets wouldn't put a brother through. You understand what I'm saying? Even they wouldn't do that. I met all kind of ratchet women before. I'm turning out they wouldn't do that. All right, they wouldn't do that. That's some heartless type stuff right there. All right, let's go on to the next video. But you just see here, she's in front of a pastor here. All right, so some people may not respect Pastor Jamal Bryant or agree with everything he says, but in the day, this man is a pastor. All right, he's been around for a lot longer than a lot of people in the modern day even know about him. I've seen this guy years ago. Okay, well, a lot of folks today don't even know this dude even existed. Okay, let's go to the next video. Okay, we're gonna play this video from the Breakfast Club for the purposes of doing commentary. This is fair use, okay? Hopefully they won't try to claim this video, and I'm saying it right here. That's what this is about. If they do, I will actually fight that claim. If you don't know what it is, that's basically when a YouTuber puts a video up, and sometimes the people that have the video that own it, they will try to go on the back end of YouTube and say that's our video, and we're gonna take all the money from your video, so you make $0 from it. All right, which is not right because you're allowed by law to do that. Okay, as long as you change the video from what it originally was, which I'm doing by adding commentary. But anyway, let's hit play. There's gonna be some language from Dr. Cheyenne here. All right. This is a woman that was just on a Christian platform, and I heard that she was on more than one. But anyway, let's hit play here. What she has to say about these allegations of her being a doctor. Okay, let's go.
How are you responding to that in this new era of
I'm sorry, allegations of her not being a doctor. My fault. Let's go.
I'm going to clear it up once on here. I'm not doing it again. And I'm clearing it up.
Also, look at this. She has a chain on that says Doc. That right there, okay, should be a red flag. But anyway, let's hit play.
For my Doc Squad, for my fan base, for my audience who deserve to hear me address it. For the folks who have already made up their mind to not like me or not understand me, listen, I don't give a fuck what your narrative is. I would like for you to recreate it, double down on it, and run that shit. Because I don't give a fuck about it.
What is she doing? Well, she's acting extremely mad to make people feel, okay, because we do character analysis on this Brother Winston Chin, like I've been doing with other people for years, okay? So the character analysis on her is this. Right now, what she's doing is she's acting super mad, which I'm not saying she's a scammer, okay? Not yet, all right? But a lot of scammers, that's what they do. They'll act, when they get defensive, they'll start cursing as if they're extremely mad. That's why they need to go right to the F word, all right? Because the F word shows just how mad I really am, all right? Though she doesn't really look that mad. All right. But I gotta put the language on because y'all make me so mad about this. And like Corey said earlier, he said, well, why don't you just show the stuff? All right. Even though President Obama showed his birth certificate when he didn't have to do that. I'm not saying that he should have done that, but I'm saying it, but he did. But what I'm saying is that at the end of the day, showing it can only make things can only make you look better. You understand what I'm saying? You might as well show all kinds of stuff that you got. You're accredited. That will actually bring more money to you.
Now, to my Doc Squad, my fan base, my folks, my village, it's very simple. I went to a school, Argosy University, completed an entire program. I went back online to get my official transcript.
And then she says, I completed an entire program. That language there is that language, if it was brought into court, is very, it's not as sticky as it, I'll just say it's not as sticky or as solid as it appears when you say something like that, okay? But let's hit play.
Because I was simple. I went to a school, Argosy University, completed an entire program. I went back online to get my official transcripts because I was applying to a law school many years ago to be a professor there. And I had to provide my transcripts, right, to get hired. And I went to contact the school and say, hey, I need my official transcripts. I need my entire thing. And there was no school. I was like, okay, I'm confused. I Google. It says this school has been shut down. I said, oh, well, they got to have records. I mean, they were accredited when I attended the school. They were accredited when I finished the program. I go and look, there is a third party that has the records. Why I contact the third party, that third party only holds records for 2 years. I was past my 2 years. So that means that I had no access to records. And then I contacted, financial aid.
Now, I will say this. I know people, okay, personally, who've had issues with weird things going on with schools and colleges. I know one guy, for example, that went to an art school here in Philadelphia, and the school closed down, just like what she's talking about. Actually, it's funny. My college actually closed down. Now I think about it. The college that I went to, it actually closed down too. All right, it was in Delaware, but that kind of stuff does happen. But what people have been kind of fighting her with is the fact that she says essentially it's impossible to get any kind of records at all. And they're saying, especially for what she went to school for, supposedly, that just is not true.
You can't make up financial aid. It shows that I paid for a doctoral program alongside my master's program and my undergrad program. And they said, we can fully refund you your money under one circumstance. We give you your money back. You don't get credit for not a class, a course, a program you took in this university, at this institute. So, do you want us to refund you? Or do you want us not? I said no, because I didn't want to risk the chance of them saying, well, we're going to give you back your money. And
This seems extremely fishy, y'all. I didn't hear anybody talk about this part yet. This seems extremely fishy. So the college said, we can just give you all your money. It seems extremely fishy, this story that she's saying here. She's also blinking a ton.
out your entire program. Luckily, I had, I do this with all of the schools. I had downloaded from the actual student portal my transcripts at that time. And I was able to get just about all of my transcripts, including up to like dissertation. But everything else, there's just no holding take for any of our records, which I think is completely effed up. Just in
They
general.
are going to kill you online this week. They're going to say she has no records. They just want to hate you regardless.
No, that's fine. And it's not even that there's no records.
The Breakfast Club is, in my opinion, great for this too, for bringing people on. I'm not saying she's a scammer, but they are great, and they've been known for bringing scammers on. They're the same people that continually bring Dr. Umar Johnson up. They also have brought up the guy who had the Tulsa real estate fund scam. I forget the guy, but y'all know what I'm talking about. They brought him up more than a few times. They brought also the guy that was, I think he may have been indicted recently or got locked up. The guy flipping NJ who DJ Envy was with. Okay, Caesar Pena. They brought him on the show. They brought a ton of people on this show to scam the black community.
That I don't. The school had a third party that carried the records only for a limit of 2 years. So it's not me, it's any student that attended Argosy. But again, it doesn't, how can I say it? It doesn't affect me because if I chose to go get a license as an LMFT.
The reason why I personally don't believe what she's saying fully here at all is because of her body language. Okay, we're doing analysis here. She doesn't seem, though she was using the F word, you notice she's extremely calm. Extremely calm. Now, mind you, she was using the F word when she was dealing with the accusations of people saying what you're saying doesn't seem right. As if she was, just the thought of it incensed her. It made her mad, the fact that someone could bring up the fact that, are you really a doctor? To question her credentials. That made her really, really mad. And she used the F word, I think, twice. But then when she goes into the actual story of how she was been, pushed to the side by this school, supposedly, she doesn't use the F word. She's extremely calm. Her body is not going up or down. Look, her body's in the same spot. Extremely calm. Now, what is worse? Somebody seriously, what is worse? Somebody saying, look, baby, are you a doctor? We just want to know. Or a school that you spent, I'm assuming, years at, all right, and put thousands of dollars into, you were having to relive by telling the story how they basically, put you in this awful position. I would think that would be a worse thing. You understand what I'm saying? When I'm having to recount that. But she has no animation and no movement in her body. Her body language is just still. And that does not match up with a person that is upset about a traumatic experience like that. You understand what I'm saying? Let's hit play.
I have my master's in marriage and child therapist. I have my hours. I can just take that and say, hey, let me submit these for licensure, and I want to go sit for my exam, and I'll have to do a study. I don't need a doctorate in counseling psychology to go get.
We're going to stop. I don't want to play this video from the Breakfast Club too long, but we're going to stop the video right here, y'all. At the end of the day, whether she has a doctorate or not, if she wants to, teach people online, she could do that. It's not against the law. If she's saying I'm a doctor or I have these degrees and she doesn't, she's lying, that may be against the law. Okay, I don't know all the laws on that. But if she doesn't have these certain degrees, just say, at the end of the day, I know people that have doctor under their name, and they got like an honorary doctorate. Okay, it's all kind of ways you can get doctor under your name. Okay, if that's how she has it, then let people know that. I look at it like this. Okay, if you have knowledge, if you have real skill, and if you can really help people, just do that. All right, go ahead and do that. Okay? Me, y'all know me, y'all know that I'm a preacher, I'm a street preacher, okay? And I've been doing that for over a decade on the streets here in Philly and in the tri-state area. All right. I basically go to talk to folks, pray for them, do all kind of ministry and stuff, have people crying, bawling their eyes out in front of me. I don't say, hey, well, this is what my doctorate is. This. I have none of those credentials. I didn't need to go to no kind of Bible institute like that. So you can, if you want to go to seminary, you can go ahead and do that. But I never had the desire, nor the God ever put my mind to go to any of these type of schools. Some people do. I have friends that have done that. All right, but I don't have to do that. And the people that I help out, okay, that I encounter every week, every other week, all right, doing ministry. They never say, hey, do you have a doctorate? Hey, you understand what I'm saying? And I'm doing this stuff for free. Okay? Whether it's for free or if it's paid, or whether I'm in church, whatever the case may be, people aren't saying, hey, do you have a doctorate? Now, I know that she's in another sphere, but whatever the case may be, she just do the work, and that kind of irritates me too, kind of bugs me too, the fact that, if you really are a psychologist, whatever she is, or supposed to be your life coach, at the end of the day, you should have a desire in you to really want to help people. Okay, because there are certain jobs you should not do just because you want some money. Just like you shouldn't work with children if you just want to make money, because children can make you lose your mind if you don't know if you're not called to be doing that. I'll just say that. Okay, all right. You shouldn't be working in the hospital if you don't care about people. Okay, or you shouldn't be working with old people if you don't care about folks. All right. And so you always turn around and hear about somebody mistreating the elderly and all kind of stuff because they shouldn't have been doing that and they don't have a heart to do that. So if she really has at the end of the day, if Dr. Cheyenne, all right, has a heart to help the black community or help women or whatever case it be, this doctor stuff shouldn't matter. If she can't provide true evidence of these doctorates that she says that she has, these degrees that she says that she has, just come out and say, well, I can't, like she did come out and say, I can't attain them. But if she's not lying, just tell the truth and nothing but the truth, and don't come with a story that doesn't make any sense. All right, because there are women that have come out. Some women actually went to the school that she said she was at. All right, it's only a matter of time for somebody. I'm assuming is going to say, look, I was at the school and in the classes that you said you took, and you weren't there. I think that may happen soon. Okay, if she's lying. All right, you saw in this very video how people have been saying, even last year, how they think something's about to go down with her, and everything that they said came to pass. All right, scamming does not pay. Lying doesn't pay, never does. All right, speak the truth. People talk about you gotta fake it till you make it. No, you need to do the truth and tell people what's really going on. All right, until things develop more. All right, you don't need to be a liar until your lies become true. Okay, that's what Donald Trump and them doing. He's still lying to this very day. All right, he's still lying to this very day. Okay, thanks for watching. Please hit the share button. Please share, hit the like button. Subscribe to the channel. God bless. Peace.